Hello, my name is Benjamin Hewlett and welcome back to our channel, Death and Taxes. Today we're going to talk about the CARES Act and how it affects deferrals. Now what is deferrals? Well, basically a deferral means that you can not pay or push off some payments. Now what payments are these? Well, first of all, potentially mortgage payments, potentially an SBA loan payment. You can also defer student loan payments. So all of these things basically are kind of all packaged up inside of the CARES Act, and it is helping us push off these payments so that we can keep some of our cash right now for things that we need the cash for. Because a lot of us are out of business, don't have any money, or have reduced work. So first of all, on mortgage payments, if you are currently in a situation where you can't pay your mortgage, then you can go to your lender and ask them for up to 180 days to basically defer those loan payments. Now you do have to go to your lender and ask them. If you are without a job, then you can actually request an additional 180 days, which is awesome. So if you have been laid off and your work doesn't start back up, then you can ask for an additional 180 days. There's also been a stop to foreclosures. So they've basically put a temporary hold on foreclosures for any of these loans that are backed by the federal government, such as Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. All these loans, typically loans are backed by the federal government, so you would be able to keep your home in a situation where you were not able to make some of those payments. So the next deferral is rent. Now I say that carefully because rent isn't necessarily deferred. Rent has basically been put in a situation where you potentially don't have to pay it right now. And the reason why is because evictions have been halted for any landlord that has a federally backed loan. Now those could be Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, SBA. So you want to check with your landlord to see if potentially you can take advantage of not having an eviction. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that you don't have to pay rent, because when all of this coronavirus goes away, you might have a balance due for past rent. So you want to talk to them and in order to establish whether or not you would qualify, because you may not know whether or not the place that you're renting from has a federally backed loan. Now let's talk about it from a landlord perspective. Now, if you have a federally backed loan, then you need to make sure that you do not evict any person in your building or in the units that you own. Because the CARES Act specifically says that you have to halt all of the evictions at this point. Now, with that said, if you do not have a federally backed loan, then these rules do not apply to you because you do not have a federally backed loan. And so for instance, I actually own some properties that I went down to my local bank and got a commercial loan. They hold the loan and is not backed federally. So in my circumstance, I actually do not have to abide by those rules. Now, on a personal note, I obviously am working with my renters and have reached out to them to make sure that everything is going well and have worked out situations where they can have some more time to pay rent. So landlords, please obviously be willing to talk to your tenants and make arrangements with them, but you want to make sure that you do follow the CARES Act and make sure that you're not starting the eviction process if that does apply to you. Thank you again for watching Death and Taxes. Give us a like, give us a subscribe. We'll see you next time.
This video has been brought to you by QuickTax Pro. If you want a tax professional like myself to prepare your taxes at a fraction of the cost and time, download QuickTax Pro. See the link in the description below.